that Blake Lively's team, according to her attorney, is actually planning to file an amended complaint in their lawsuit.
Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni's legal feud has erupted into one of the most explosive battles in Hollywood, and it could potentially destroy both of their careers. What started as a lawsuit over allegations of harassment has spiraled into a $400 million war that has sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry. But now, in a shocking twist, Blake Lively is begging Justin Baldoni to drop the lawsuit. What could have caused this sudden change in her strategy? To understand why Blake is desperately pleading for a settlement, we need to go back to the beginning. It was Blake Lively who first filed the lawsuit, accusing Justin Baldoni of creating a toxic and hostile work environment on the set Ends With Us, an adaptation of Colleen Hoover's best-selling novel. The lawsuit was filled with disturbing allegations, including claims that Baldoni was verbally abusive, manipulative, and retaliatory when Lively challenged him. What was supposed to be a dream role turned into a nightmare for Blake, as Baldoni's controlling nature allegedly made it unbearable to work on the film. She accused him of belittling her ideas, dismissing her creative input, and pressuring her to comply with his every demand. The tension between them reached new heights as the production continued, culminating in shocking allegations of emotional and professional harassment. Blake's claims were damning. One of the most shocking accusations made by Blake Lively was that Baldoni's behavior became even more egregious as the filming progressed. She claimed that Baldoni used his power as director to place her in uncomfortable situations, often under the guise of making the film more authentic. Sources close to the production revealed that Lively was repeatedly pressured into reshooting emotionally distressing scenes, even after expressing concerns about her well-being. She alleged that Baldoni would force her to stay on set for grueling hours, disregarding her exhaustion and pushing her beyond her limits. It wasn't just behind the scenes either. Baldoni reportedly publicly criticized her, making it clear that he held all the power. He allegedly belittled her in front of the cast and crew, attempting to exert control over not just the film, but also over her as an actor and as a person. These allegations painted a picture of an environment where Blake felt isolated, powerless, and trapped. Blake Lively's legal team didn't hold back when presenting these allegations. They accused Baldoni of fostering a toxic culture on set, one where no voice, except his own, was allowed to be heard. In her lawsuit, Lively claimed that when she disagreed with Baldoni, he retaliated by making her life more difficult. One of the most notable incidents, according to Lively, was a confrontation about a last-minute script change that she felt was unnecessary and damaging to her character. Instead of having a productive discussion, she claimed that Baldoni raised his voice, threatening her by saying that if she wasn't willing to do things his way, she could walk away from the film entirely. That moment, she said, was a breaking point for her, highlighting the stark power imbalance that existed between them. But Justin Baldoni didn't sit idly by. Instead of quietly defending himself, he launched a lawsuit of his own, accusing Blake of attempting to destroy his career and orchestrating a smear campaign. His legal team argued that Lively had gone beyond a personal dispute, making false accusations with the intent to ruin his reputation. According to Baldoni, after their working relationship soured, Blake began spreading damaging rumors about him, warning others in the industry that he was difficult to work with and actively sabotaging his opportunities. His legal team claims that Lively's actions caused his most ambitious project to fall apart, costing him not just a major film, but hundreds of millions of dollars in lost opportunities. They painted Lively as someone who was not simply wronged on set, but someone deliberately trying to destroy his reputation for personal gain. The accusations didn't end there. Baldoni's team claimed that Blake had used her influence in Hollywood to manipulate the narrative, feeding damaging stories to the media and turning the public against him. They argued that Lively was not just seeking to address a personal grievance, but was actively working behind the scenes to ensure that no one would want to work with Baldoni again. This alleged campaign of defamation was said to extend beyond just bad press. It reportedly reached into the very heart of Hollywood, where Lively allegedly used her power to blacklist him. As the legal battle unfolded, the stakes became even higher. With each new revelation, both sides seemed to gain and lose ground, and the public spectacle became increasingly intense. Blake Lively's legal team was hit with a series of devastating setbacks, the most significant of which was the judge rejecting a crucial piece of evidence they had hoped would strengthen their case. Their legal strategy took a serious blow, and in a desperate move, they requested an extension to gather additional support. However, the court denied their request, leaving them with little time to regroup. Meanwhile, Baldoni's legal team didn't waste a moment. They went on the offensive, using every legal tool at their disposal to exploit every misstep that Lively's lawyers made. With each ruling in Baldoni's favor, his legal team gained more confidence, and it soon became clear to everyone watching that Baldoni was in control of the situation. The momentum was shifting in his favor, and Lively's team was struggling to keep up. As the courtroom drama reached new heights, Blake Lively realized that her chances of winning the case were slipping away. But instead of simply conceding defeat, she began shifting her strategy. If she couldn't win in the courtroom, she would try to win through public opinion. She started taking a more public-facing approach, making carefully crafted statements and allowing key allies to speak on her behalf. She seemed to realize that in this battle, public perception might be her last weapon. By casting herself as the victim, Lively hoped to shift the narrative and gain the public's sympathy. But just as Blake Lively was beginning to make her move in the court of public opinion, Baldoni's team delivered a blow that no one saw coming. His legal team launched a massive 168-page website dedicated entirely to dismantling Lively's case. The website was meticulously detailed, filled with text messages, emails, and behind-the-scenes accounts that painted a drastically different picture than the one Lively had portrayed. Rather than showing Baldoni as the toxic, manipulative figure Lively had described, the website depicted him as a professional who had been blindsided by false accusations. The website's release sent shockwaves through the media, but the real bombshell came when it was revealed that among the leaked messages was correspondence from none other than Ryan Reynolds. According to the website, Reynolds had expressed his support for Baldoni and praised his vision for the film. This revelation was a game-changer. If the messages were legitimate, they directly contradicted Lively's claims that Baldoni was impossible to work with or created a toxic work environment. In fact, at least at one point, it seemed that even Lively's own husband, Ryan Reynolds, had no issue with Baldoni and respected his leadership. This leak was a game-changer. It sent the public's opinion into a tailspin, as it seemed to undermine the core of Lively's lawsuit. Her legal team quickly responded by filing an urgent request with the court to have the website taken down. They argued that it was nothing more than a calculated smear campaign designed to turn public opinion against her and sway the case outside of the courtroom. However, the court was unmoved, and the judge denied their request, allowing the website and all of its contents to remain online for the world to see. With the walls closing in on her and her credibility being challenged, Blake Lively had to confront a harsh reality. This legal battle was no longer just a fight in the courtroom. It was a fight for her career, her public image, and everything she had worked so hard to build. As the case dragged on, Lively began to shift her strategy yet again. Rather than relying solely on her legal team, she turned her attention to the media, trying to shape the narrative in her favor. But even this new approach was met with difficulty, as public opinion was no longer as sympathetic as it once had been. Blake Lively now faced a difficult choice: continue the fight and risk losing everything, or try to settle before things spiral even further. Her legal team, once confident in their ability to win, was now scrambling to recover from their setbacks. But with each passing day, it became more and more clear that her options were limited. Justin Baldoni, on the other hand, was in a strong position. His team had played their cards strategically, using each of Lively's missteps to their advantage. With the release of the website, the momentum had shifted firmly in Baldoni's favor, and he seemed determined to push for a victory at all costs. As the final court date looms on the horizon, Blake Lively must weigh her options carefully. A loss in court could cost her not just her reputation, but her career. Hollywood is unforgiving, and a courtroom defeat of this scale could shatter the carefully crafted image she has built. For Justin Baldoni, however, a win would not only clear his name, but could also secure him a $400 million payout. The stakes have never been higher, and only one of them will walk away victorious. With both sides preparing for the final showdown, the question remains, who will come out on top? Blake Lively or Justin Baldoni? The answer will shape the future of their careers and leave a lasting impact on Hollywood itself. As the battle rages on, only one thing is certain: when the dust settles, only one will emerge victorious, and the other may never recover.